Do you find yourself feeling drained because you're constantly putting others first? It's time to set healthy boundaries. Welcome, I'm Sarah, and today we're going to talk about how setting healthy boundaries is crucial for your self-care and protecting your well-being. Healthy boundaries are essential for protecting your mental and emotional health. Without them, you might feel overwhelmed, resentful, or even burned out. Setting boundaries helps you to create space for your self-care, making it easier for you to prioritize your own needs while still supporting others. Here are some common signs that you need to start setting boundaries. You feel constantly overwhelmed and drained. You say yes when you really want to say no. You don't have time for yourself or for your own priorities.
This can look like you taking on additional responsibilities that actually belong to other people. You feel stressed and burned out. You find that you no longer have the time to be able to sit down and enjoy a healthy and delicious meal, to be mindful and present with the gift of food. You find yourself eating fast food in the car, racing to the next commitment. You feel stressed because of the dangers on the road, traffic. You no longer have time to carry out your exercise routine. You find that you don't feel as good physically as you used to. You no longer spend quality time with your spouse. Your most important relationships start to suffer because of the lack of quality time and communication. You find that you're no longer getting good quality sleep. You feel yourself dozing off because you're just so tired all the time.
The first step is to recognize your limits, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Ask yourself, what drains my energy? What feels like too much? Here's a tip. Write down your top 3 boundaries to help clarify what you need to protect. It's important to communicate your boundaries in both a clear and kind manner. Practice saying things like, I can't commit to this right now, or I need some time to myself. Here's a tip. Use I statements to express your needs without placing blame. So you may think, oh, I set boundaries. Now everyone knows. They'll never forget. I'll never forget. We're good from now on. Setting boundaries is not a one-time thing. You have to stick to them consistently. It can be uncomfortable at first, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Remember, your well-being is worth protecting. Don't feel guilty for maintaining your boundaries. Here are some examples of boundaries you can set. Time boundaries. I won't be available for work emails after 6 p.m. Emotional boundaries. I'm not comfortable discussing that topic right now. Physical boundaries. I need personal space to recharge. Setting boundaries can feel challenging, so be kind to yourself as you practice. Remember that setting boundaries is about self-respect, not selfishness. Take time to check in with yourself regularly and adjust your boundaries as needed. As someone with both ADHD and an autoimmune condition, I have failed to set effective boundaries for myself over the years. So setting boundaries has been a learning process for me the past few years. Not setting boundaries both for myself and for others meant that I overextended myself physically, mentally, and emotionally. And at the end of the day, I felt stressed out, drained, even a little lost. Couldn't sleep. My mind wouldn't stop. And it feels good to set boundaries, to know that I have limitations. I'm not Superwoman. You may have different reasons why setting boundaries feels important for you. Maybe you don't have a health condition that you need to monitor. Now that the school year has started and we're going into winter, life feels like it gets out of control and never stops. There's so many reasons why learning our boundaries is self-care. Let me know down in the comments how you plan to set better and healthy boundaries for yourself. If you enjoyed the tips in this video, then you may enjoy an article that I wrote on my website. You can check the link in the description or comments. I go into a little bit more detail as to why we may neglect setting boundaries for ourselves and ultimately neglecting our own self-care and how we can overcome that. Thank you for being here. If you found these tips helpful, give the video your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more self-care advice coming in the future. Don't forget that self-massage is a great way to practice self-care. So if you're ready, do this routine next.